Welcome back to PittsburgHer. It is a podcast collaboration. And listen, blah, 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 blah. Bria is back, and that's all that matters. I'm so excited. It has been such a long time. We feel like, I don't even know how many episodes, but it's felt...
Missed them all.
Yeah, and we missed you. We really did miss you every single time. So we were so glad to hear that you were coming back. So anyway, it is a podcast collab between Jagoff and Pittsburgh Magazine. And I got to say, I love getting some of this feedback from people who are just sending messages saying that they love the topics and they haven't overly suggested other topics. So I just want to be clear that we really want more topics to put into our bowl because it's starting to get a little low. So definitely, right?
Yeah.
We want to know what questions people have.
Yeah.
What's on your mind?
What's on your mind? What's on our mind, though, is to welcome Bria back. And they were making fun of me. Well, not they. Christy, you're safe because it was just Sarah.
It's just me.
It was just Sarah.
And Sarah was making fun of you.
Big surprise. As per usual. In the show notes, I said, what era are you in for the baby? Meaning like, and she said, was I channeling my Taylor Swift? But ultimately, like, where are we? Because it's a touchy subject. You know, everybody deals with post-pregnancy, post-baby differently. And so I wanted to kind of broach it fairly and gingerly. So where are you? How are you feeling? What would you want us to talk about?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. All good things.
Yeah.
I just feel like I'm in a learning phase, like constantly.
Okay.
First time mom, every day is something new, learning and experience-wise and stuff like that. So it's just like I'm learning all day, every day.
How are you learning? Are you asking a ton of questions? Are you reading a lot? Are you going to like a certain resource? Because we've joked before that there was the book that was what to expect.
Yeah,
Unexpected.
my mom tried to give me that book. I'm like, it's okay, Mom. I have the internet now. She said, "Oh, thanks. It's okay."
Wow. Yeah.
I have a group. I gave birth at the midwife center, and everything went to plan. So while I was there was a group in my centering program, and that's where like all the girls who are giving birth around the same time, like put you in a group, and we all kind of just came together, meshed really well as like people and humans, and we put each other in group chat. Everybody talks like all day, every day. We ask each other questions.
That's great.
I think that's the best.
Share experiences. We go out and meet each other. It's been a really, really, really cool community to be a part of. And that's probably where I get most of my like real mom info, like as far as if I'm asking a question outside of my mom.
Yeah, sure.
And then like social media, it's a yes or no. I go to Instagram or Facebook. I'm a part of different groups and stuff like that, and they can just be a little touchy depending on what it is. Sometimes they're supportive
or anything.
And anything. Other times they're just like super weird and social media-y about it. So I don't really interact with the social media side outside of like sharing reels and memes and stuff like that. But when it comes to real information, I'm usually trying to ask real women, like who I can see and talk to and get real advice.
I love though that you're relying on the people who went through it when you did, because you don't know what you don't know.
All of us are literally like first time. Well, there's a few in there who are on their second child, but everybody is genuinely like first time mom, like just new experience, and everybody shares the same birthday within a few weeks of each other. So it's like really a cool experience to be a part of. Yeah.
Christy, do you remember when you first had your baby? Like, who were you asking advice of?
I'm probably mostly my mom. Like I said, I was so in my house. She was born in September. I left in March.
What?
Oh yeah, you missed. Like,
I just didn't leave. There was like a big snowstorm and like
between September and March, Fred.
Well, I don't know. Well, no, there was some like bird flu or something like. Oh, my mom's like, well, you can't take her out in public. Sure. And she was born really small and so I was like, well, I can't do anything.
Christy's like, all right.
And I just I watched the entire series of Roseanne.
Sure. Oh, wow.
That's because funny. That was just always on.
Yeah.
And so that just triggers me. But so that I didn't really ask advice. I think I was, because I don't know.
Your mom,
I just figured Sarah was like her own person, and it was at the weekend, never slept. And so I didn't have brain capacity to really ask or formulate questions.
That's right.
So
yeah, same. I think I asked my mom and others like you, who dealt with it. But it just feels like today there's more of making your own assumption. It felt judgier during my pregnancy times, like we were saying, even with breastfeeding.
Yeah, I mean, I hear that. I think it has.
And maybe it was
better.
me. Yeah, maybe I felt
think
that
it's
way.
probably still judgy.
Yeah, sure.
I
It's
feel
definitely
like-
still judgy in the world in general.
Yeah.
Like for
Ridiculous.
right.
Sarah, did you have anyone in particular?
No, I nannied for a long time. As that was my high school, and when I went to New York and I was auditioning and stuff, I was a nanny. So I was around for little babies, and then up through toddlers and school age. So I was super comfortable around little kids. And then my dad being Pakistani and my mom being a pediatric nurse, everybody was just so chill about it. They were just babies are babies. Nobody, my dad was my sisters all wore their babies all of the time, and people were don't hold your baby too much. And my dad was what are you even talking about? I didn't see a baby be put down. Man, it was wonderful. So
But what a good perspective. Yeah. See, I was just a sheep. I just listened and I was all right, so this is what I do. But yeah, I guess that's just what you did.
Yeah, I took
I'm not like
classes
that
and
now.
everything, but everything went differently. I took a breastfeeding class. I took a natural childbirth class, and I didn't have any of those things.
Sure.
So I was
missed my
prepped, and I didn't have a mom's group until Sarah was a toddler. And I think that is probably the most important is to have that group and to have that, through their growth.
For the babies and for you. That's right.
Yeah.
It's so important. I still talk to that mom's group, and they're wonderful, amazing people.
Nice. Great. Well, now we know what era she's in.
Yeah.
thank goodness.
Or not. We at least know
Whatever
where
era that is, that's the era.
yeah, whatever.
Whatever era.
All right, so we love this little bowl that, as I mentioned, the Magnolia Bowl is getting low. And so I don't know what mood I'm in. I'm in a Shelby mood. I feel sorry for myself today because Sarah was picking on you, so I'm sorry for that.
Are you feeling blush and bashful?
I don't know. I really don't feel sorry for myself, so I don't know who I am. Oh, wow. This is unique. Does grief ever lessen after the death of a loved one?
Oh,
That's a little dark.
that's a question. I think it changes.
Good answer. Good.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
Yeah, it changes. Lessen feels like a difficult word because there are definitely still some days when, someone that I lost will be 10 years later and you'll just be doing absolutely nothing and you'll be oh man, that sucks.
Just hits you.
Yeah, yeah, right. But it's different than in the immediate wake. I feel you are so busy doing all the planning, and then it's really hard.
Yeah.
There's a chunk where it's really hard, and then it changes. That's been my experience. Sorry, it's not an answer for the question asker.
Well, no.
If they were looking
Yeah.
for it to be yes, it will get better and go away. It lessens over time until it's gone.
But isn't grief a process,
So
right? That's
sorry,
what I've
yes.
always learned. And, there's another podcast you guys know that we help produce called The Merry Widows. And, they are women who have experienced loss of their spouses, and they've figured out how to navigate life without their spouses. So, but I don't know that was directly for
Right.
spouses, but from a grieving standpoint, they have said there are different levels, and they have had therapy to tell them that there are different stages that you enter, not eras, but stages, and that they repeat. So even though, you might be on what the clinical definition or the definition of grief is, and it's number 3, but you're now going back to number 1. So there's these different pieces that you just kind of go through at different, like you said, and I think things spark it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I mean, I try to look for people that I've lost in different things. I mean,
forms.
Yeah, and I just, and I will take, if I'm walking through the cemetery, and I get great comfort visiting my grandparents' grave and Christ Our Redeemer Cemetery in Westview. I just feel at peace there, they're around, but, just in different forms, and I still feel comforted by them whenever I need them.
Do you go there to talk to
Yes.
have So if something's bothering you or just in general? This sort of
I think I've said this before, like
Yeah.
I got the job offer for Pittsburgh Magazine when
Yep.
I was at my grandparents' grave. So I just feel like they know, like I'll feel compelled to go there. I don't really, and even if I don't say anything out loud, I sit there.
It's the connection. Is it just your grandparents or in general?
I feel a lot of comfort at cemeteries in general.
Yeah.
So I find
I know.
yes, and I was at Allegheny. I was walking through Allegheny Cemetery before I came here. So, and it's beautiful right now. It's the best time to go. It's just gorgeous. Like it's
you're
gorgeous.
right.
And so even if you're aren't at your particular loved one's grave, like they're just all around.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Bria, what's your thought on grieving?
I definitely agree with Sarah. I think it's just a lifelong process, like a lifetime of different stages. And also agree with you. Like I feel like I look for people through different things, like in my life, like what I'm doing. I have a room where we keep all of our like past ones, mementos in there and stuff like that. And being in there feels really good. Like I feel like I'm closer to them, or just looking at their old stuff, so I don't know. I feel like it's definitely a process. Yeah, it will never go away. But you learn to get through it. You learn to how to handle it better every day, or not. But it is just a process.
And it's not always like, it's funny because we automatically went to like the losses of somebody, because sometimes you grieve something that's lost but maybe not dead. You know what I mean? Like so that's interesting too, because
like a breakup or something.
Yeah. Like, two things I was going to say. One, I have a very dear friend who passed away 10 years ago in August, like you were saying. And she was healthy and vibrant. She actually had gastric bypass surgery. Her staple from her surgery, now this was years ago, obviously it has evolved. The surgery process has evolved. It slit her aorta and she died in her sleep. And so it's interesting because I had a rough like first few years, and then it felt like it was sort of tapered. And then in the last couple years, I'm like, it's there. It's so there, especially like this 10th year, like, hitting like that kind of a milestone. So it's interesting how it goes in waves. Secondly, I have a really sad story about, like you guys were saying, you have groups of friends. No, it's not. No, it's not.
Don't
There's silver lining.
Right.
There's always a silver lining. I won't end it on a bad note. You go through these phases of friendships. And like, it's interesting that you said you have these groups that you started from, like when you had, your maternity and such. I never did any of that, but again, it's generational difference. But my kids played hockey. And so I literally traveled for hockey for years, like a decade. And this one person was my very dear friend. And we had the stupidest falling out over hockey. And to this day, I know there's a void in my life because she's not there. Now, I also don't think she was a true friend, but so both can exist.
Sure.
Crazy. But so I mourned that for a while, but now I found other people to kind of fill that void. So all good.
I think grief is just like steel magnolias, like in the cemetery scene. Whenever it's like, and then
that.
they go and then they start laughing.
Yeah.
Like, it could be like that, or it could be like nothing for a long time, and then all of a sudden it just like hits you. But
look at Silver Lining Christy.
I know.
She's like
not my strong suit.
She's like, Rachel brought us down.
I'm usually the black cloud.
Back up, changing the roles today. You're funny. Yeah, I agree. I hope that helps because I think we're all on the same path, and hopefully that person who's asking about grief is getting through just the same. I wanted to give a shout out because I meant to do this last time and I didn't, and it was the women. We always like to say women-owned businesses or women who we've met who have had an impact or things of that nature. The roaming bean, we talked about this without being on camera. If you have not, have you been to their truck? So it is now a franchise. They've started their own franchise here, and they make the process so simple because essentially it's their recipes for coffee, and they sell you the franchise that way. But they also will sell you the truck. Did you know that part?
Oh no.
Yes. So essentially, if you want to go in and you say, "Oh, I want to own my own roaming bean." Okay, cool. It's this much money, and these are the things you do. If not, and you say, but I need the vehicle, they're like, we got you covered there too. And they can either connect you or make it happen.
That's cool.
Yes, so
That
shout
coffee
out.
is so yummy.
Great. Penny. Penny is the owner, and she is crazy and amazing and talented. I love her. And I do. And shout out because Katie Love, who used to live here and now lives in Miami, who is a crazy media mogul, she does her social media. And that's how I got connected to her. And she's just a great person. And I love seeing that happen. So anyway, there you go. Christy, anything new with you or any shout outs that you want to give?
I wrote a note just so I wrote. Yes. The 77 Club, they're like a roving pizza pop-up. So they're gonna have their slices available at the Government Center's bar every day, starting at like 5 to. The Government Center bar is open from 5 to 2 a.m. Which
Wait, the one on East Ohio?
Yes. Yeah. So the Government Center, if you don't know, it's a record store. There's also Kinder Bean Cafe in there. It's wonderful. Max, who owns it, is amazing. So the bar is also really cool, open till 2 a.m. There's no place that's open till 2.
Right.
Ever.
Wow.
So the bar is really cool. It's really chill. And you can order 77 Club. There's slices there. And I love Dustin and Brittany. They're so sweet. So they launched.
They're the owners.
Yes, they're the owners. They have like this big wood-fired oven. It's like this big black. It's the most beautiful wood-fired oven I've ever seen. So I love that they're getting these like kind of like wholesale spots. They're going to be opening up more around the city, and maybe eventually they get their own place. But for now, they're there on the north side, and I love them so much. They're very sweet. They have a young daughter. They came from California, and they love Pittsburgh.
I didn't know any of that. Okay.
They're really cool, and I love them a lot. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, that's my shout out.
Cool. Bria, who's your shout out?
TLC Libations.
Yes. Love her.
Erica.
Erica.
Yeah.
Celebrating her third.
I think her third. Yeah, I think I saw that on Instagram. But yeah, she's like I think the only Black distillery in PA, or is it?
I don't know if she's PA or
Female owned.
Okay.
Black distillery.
Okay.
In all of PA?
I would have to double
something.
check.
I might have to double check that too. But something tells me PA. But I know in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
For sure,
I know
for sure,
Pittsburgh. For sure.
For
She
sure,
was just at
Pittsburgh.
Mavuno where we saw Wade also.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, she did great. She's done 2 of our events, and she's her mocktails are fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great shout out.
Yeah. Shout out to Erica.
And it's her and her mom?
I'm not sure. I know her mom helps her. Like,
Yeah,
with
I didn't know if they
everything.
were-
Like, her mom does. She's definitely like maybe a silent partner with her.
Yeah.
But definitely like Erica is soul in that. That's her. So shout out to Erica. TLC Libations over in Homewood. I think she's at now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's a cool.
Sarah, on our show notes, I asked you, like, have you had any workshops? You're like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
What workshops am I facilitating? I don't know. But anything you want to shout out or anything you wanted to bring up?
Well, I was gonna bring up Mavuno and
perfect tie-in.
TLC Libations and who are our friends. So Bria took my shout out, but that's cool because it's okay. It's a good one. But there's also our friends who are just over the border in Ohio.
Wendy Bridges.
Wendy Bridges is here, and he's
it's the other one.
and he does make delicious beer.
I have her card.
Yes. Anyway, just over the border in Ohio, I make cider and seltzer and so yummy. And Monica will save us and dub over later or something. I don't know. There will be editing. But Mavuno is a festival that happens in Swickley. The Sweetwater Center for the Arts does it every year. So look for that next fall, and there's so many great Black vendors there and other
Mavuno was a great vibe this year, right?
Yeah.
Moving the location was fantastic, and having like pieces of Babesburg there with the
I've seen that.
Yeah, we had the drum circle, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
People loved that.
It also started at 10 a.m. And so our friend Erica made mimosas because this was civilized. We don't need to be drinking just beer at 10 a.m. I mean, welcome to.
Sure.
But, time appropriate cocktails are always appreciated.
It's thoughtful.
It's so thoughtful.
Yeah, that was a great shout out from Avuno because it is true. It's a great event.
Yeah.
And kudos to you because you're on the board there.
Yeah, I'm rolling off soon though. See you. Some new time for some fresh blood. Girl, I've been on that board since 2017. It's time for some fresh blood over there.
Okay. So if this is your first time listening to PittsburgHer, hopefully you enjoyed it. If it's not and you've been enjoying it, hit us up and tell us what you want us to talk about. Like even today was a little different than women topics being grief, but we're happy to weigh in on anything. You can find us on Pittsburgh Magazine's website, on your Jagoff's website, anywhere that you get podcasts. And again, we're looking forward to hearing from you. There are no women in business events for the rest of the year. So essentially look for the first one coming up in 2026, and we're going to be proud to be interviewing various people who have been awardees and other women. So excited for that opportunity. Sarah, what do you have to say?
See you next Tuesday.
What are some signs of menopause? I think a lot of people know the classic ones. And before I even go into those, let's just say like, what are signs of menopause? What does that question mean? Most people need to know what menopause is. The technical definition of menopause is when you've gone a year without a period. But I think what the question is really asking are what are some signs of perimenopause, which is that you're moving towards menopause. And so one of the first things patients sometimes notice that their periods become irregular. That they'll have a heavy period and they might be close together and then they'll go months without one. That is kind of your body's like cycle's way of telling you it's getting close to being done cycling. Other classic symptoms people know are hot flashes. What that really is a sort of neurovascular response to fluctuations in hormones. So it's a classic symptom, but there are some symptoms that people do not expect. Brain fog, muscle weakness, or joint pain, like just sort of muscle fatigue. There's some really specific ones like frozen shoulder that people often do not expect. Changes in your mood, just being like really annoyed and irritated at absolutely everything. Difficulty sleeping is a big one. Some women notice weight gain, some notice brain fog, concentration issues, urinary urgency and frequency, recurrent urinary tract infections are all things people might not expect to be associated with perimenopause. No, that's a tough question. There's a lot that we don't know. Those are very huge and complex topics, but we do know that the basic things that we've all been taught in health class really do help generally improve your cardiovascular fitness, your health, your sleep. So exercise, no one likes to hear a doctor say like you need to exercise, you need to sleep well, you need to eat well, you need to avoid things that are going to really, really be stressful. Obviously, we can't avoid all stresses in our lives, but in terms of dealing with that stress, having support system around you, having good social circle, all of those things actually really do decrease your levels of inflammation and your levels of stress hormones and can even affect some of your other like metabolic factors. So to have good hormone health, you need to have a good diet because hormones are produced, by having a good combination of healthy fats and fiber and all sorts of things in your diet that are in very fine balance, but also, will respond to, generally speaking, having moderation in these classic health parameters. So I hope that answers the question. Obviously, lifestyle definitely affects your stress and definitely can affect your hormones. I would add one more thing and say one of the worst things you can do for your health is to drink alcohol, which a lot of people like to do, but excessive alcohol use has been shown to basically affect every dimension of good health in general.